I have a question.
Yes, please.
Okay. So I think there are going to be people listening who, they may enjoy the energy or conversation,
Sure.
whatever, but they don't see themselves as being able to sit in that room with that director and say, they will never write a resignation letter like that. They don't see themselves being able to do that.
They won't, they feel like they have to have more than 3 sentences.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? They can't, they don't see themselves as walking away or picking them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell them, what is just one step? What is just one step that they can not, and we want to meet people where they are. All right,
Sure.
Not even take it yet, but think about taking.
Yeah.
What is one thing?
I always start with self-love. Self-love. When a woman comes into her own, on her own, it's called the hero's journey.
Yeah.
We all receive the calling, but many of us do not accept it. And then on that journey of accept, you have to do what? You have to walk away from the comfort. Comfort is good, but nothing grows there.
Right.
So when you accept the calling, then it requires you to make atonement with all of the things, the beginning of the things that have caused you pain, the things that you're holding on to, the issues, the challenges that have yet to be resolved. It's called walking through the cave, and you have to walk through that cave by yourself. A lot of times we want to do that in tandem with someone else because it is scary, it's dark, it's wet, it's cold, right? It is the truth. And it is a necessary step that cannot be avoided.
Can I add on to that?
Absolutely. I'd love for that.
Because I know what it is to be a big scaredy cat.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Nicole said the same thing. I'm a scaredy cat. I'm like, girl, come on. Right. It's a risk taker. I'm leaning over the edge.
Know.
Right?
And I'm like, oh my God, I remember myself in my 20s.
Yeah.
I would say to get there.
Yeah.
Just start by noticing what hits you wrong.
Yeah, indeed.
Start by noticing and admitting.
I was going to,
admitting that felt like someone was taking advantage of you.
Yep.
That felt like someone was being dismissive of you.
Yep.
That felt like that person is telling you
to
you're
be less
not
than.
enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or you're too much.
Yeah. Or you're too
both.
much. Or exactly.
Yeah. Notice that stuff.
And then I say yes and.
Yeah.
And then capture it in a journal.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It doesn't mean that you have to do anything with it at that moment.
Right.
But just capture it. So
yeah.
Stop it. You notice it. And what happens is, here it is. Thank you, universe. The leadership, Oprah, full circle.
Okay.
I love my life. It isn't always loud. And then remember, your life has been whispering to you all along. Forever. As we whisper into the mics. So the thing is, Oprah said, you weren't paying attention.
Yes.
You were allowing the noise to drown out the whispers. The universe have been sending you messages in any which way but loose. A bird came through the window. You had a message in a bottle.
And then a brick comes through the window.
A brick came through the window. You know what? You know, somebody came in and said, oh my goodness, you'd be great for this. Have you ever thought about that? How many times?
No, not me. You should have somebody else.
Exactly. So
as someone who has done that.
Hello, right? Raise hand. So the notion, the idea is you already know.
Yeah.
It takes strength, courage, and confidence to embrace that truth and that honesty. And when you do that, like Cecily said, just recognize that doesn't feel well. And I say this, when you walk into any situation, most situations, because sometimes you can't, like if you go into the hospital or someone is ill, right? But most situations, when you walk into it, you're in relationship with someone, whether it be a friend, an employer, your significant, your partner, your spouse, whatever it is you're calling them, even your children, family members. When you're walking into situations and scenarios and you're on a 7, you should leave at minimum on a 7. If you don't leave at a minimum or higher, that could be your cue. So ask yourself, thank you for that, Cecily. So assess, how am I feeling right now? I'm a 6, I'm a 5, I'm a 9, I'm a 10. And when you leave that situation, if you are not at minimum your baseline and it's continuously happening, that's your cue that something is awry and something is not in alignment with not only who you are, your spirit, but maybe that contract has been fulfilled and it is time.
And that you keep choosing to go back.
You're choosing the abuse. You're choosing to allow somebody to marginalize, discount, minimize your brilliance, what you bring to the table, your knowledge, your expertise, your education, your being.
Yeah.
And know that that's what, remember I said, we all play a part in it. You allow, right? Now, there's sometimes we don't know because we might not have capacity for language. We might have understanding. Sometimes we might be dealing with illnesses where we might not be compliant with our medication. There's so many other things, but we're talking about individuals who able-bodied, understand and being able to kind of move through those experiences. Sis, pick yourself. Don't stop waiting for this to happen. I'm tapping my shoulders. Stop waiting for somebody to pick you and pick yourself. You have what you need, and the other things that you don't have, they will present themselves when you pick you.
And use the language of accountability. So own up to the fact that, whatever, my family, I don't like going to my family dinners because they mistreat me. Listen, you've done the work. You've gone, you've been aware, you assess that you're a 3 when you leave and whatever. So now, today when you go, the language is, I am choosing to go back to this table again, knowing that I will feel worse about myself when I leave than when I came in. I am choosing to do this because if you use the language of it's someone else's fault, you can't change it.
Exactly. And you know what? You're not supposed to change it because you can't change anyone else. And that's what this disruption is about. Disruption in language and the specificity is never about anybody else, ladies. It's always about self. That's why we say, Temet Nosce, thyself thou must know. We're not here convincing, to cajole, or change anyone's minds. Baby, it will work if you work.